Hey, let's bust out 5 winners in the Vikings loss. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus. Vikings are 10-3 overall winners, but today not so much. But you know what? We're going to bust out 5 winners anyways because there was some winners.
You lost to the fucking Lions.
It's true, but some guys had some good games. Maybe not so much on defense, but there were some winners out there.
Yeah, the Vikings lost, but there was definitely some players who, really balled out today. We're going to recognize those guys who tried to get the Vikings their 11th win to cinch the North. Going to have to wait a week on that, unfortunately. So before we do, subscribe to the channel, like the vids, go to Liftbridge Brewing Company, either the facility in Stillwater, or find their delicious brews in a liquor store near you.
Yes, let's do this. So let's start off with one that's probably not so obvious because he is on the defensive side of the ball, the only defender on this list. Let's go to the big man in the middle, Dalvin Tomlinson. 9 tackles, 1 quarterback hit, and just being the man in the middle clogging shit up.
He clogged shit up. He was in the backfield a lot. I mean, really, you take away the punt, the fake punt rush for 42 yards. They held the Lions to under 100-yard rushing, and a lot of that was because of Dalvin Tomlinson, the way he played today. He was really everywhere, and I thought he played out of his head. And to see a D tackle rack up that many tackles today is very, very impressive. Fortunately, the Vikings didn't get the win, but Dalvin Tomlinson was a winner today.
I mean, honestly, I don't want to see him getting that many tackles. I don't want to see him getting in the mix that much. But that's because it means everyone else isn't doing their job. But Dalvin stepped up, said, screw it. I'm going to put this defense on my shoulders. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But he balled out. And let's go to the offense side of the ball. Let's go with another one that's probably not an obvious one. Maybe it's not even worthy. But as always, let us know your winners in the comments. And I'm putting KJ Osborne out there just because we haven't seen a ton of him this year. He did have a very nice touchdown, 5 catches, 38 yards.
He does what he gets asked to do. He has a very small role on this offense. It's to convert a first down every now and then, maybe get a touchdown when everybody else is covered. He's the third option. Not getting a lot of targets every single week, but when he does get those targets, he has to cash them in. He did that today. Last week we saw everybody, Jalen Reagor should get more looks. Jalen Reagor should be our number 3. Forget KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne today said, not so fast, not so fast.
Did you say KJ Robin?
It came out. I sound like my mom right there. It came out really
bad. That wasn't even close.
KJ Osborne said, not today. Not today, Jalen.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch. And you know what? Spoiler alert, there's a lot more receivers on here. So we might as well get through them. Let's go with Adam Thielen, 7 for 65 in a score as well. Not eye-popping stats, but making some tough plays.
Yeah, tough plays, and he was throwing some blocks out there today, fighting off some tackles. A physical game today for Adam Thielen. Had the one big, it was a bomb, and then we watched the replay. Did he drop it? Because Adam Thielen doesn't drop this play. Turns out the corner made a good play on the ball. So you kind of wondered there, oh my God, did Thielen have an uncharacteristic drop? He didn't. He was very solid today. Did what he had to do. Came up big. He was clutch and he was tough today. And I liked Adam Thielen's game and definitely deserving of being a winner today.
Lupagus deciding to break down the one play that mattered. No, he didn't do anything.
Well, I just say it like it was like, God, did he drop that? I mean, we all said that when we watched it live.
Yes, but it was nice to see him out there. That's what we love from Adam Thielen, making the tough plays, making the tough catches. That's what he did. Let's go to the man chucking that pill around all damn day. Kirk Cousins putting up 425 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, has a quarterback rating of 124. And our last winner has a lot to do with these stats. But Kirk Cousins doing everything he can possibly do to try to overcome our putrid defense.
Yeah, I almost want to say this was a quiet 425 yards passing because
weird.
Yeah, because there was no huge explosive plays. I mean, there was a couple chunks here and there, but it just seemed like taking a little bit here, taking a little bit there. He took 3 sacks for 26 yards. But I was actually surprised when we went on live and started this thing to see that Kirk Cousins was at that 400 mark today in this game because it just didn't feel like he threw for that much as you're watching it.
Well, put the stats aside. I mean, he's playing behind an offensive line that's depleted with Schlottman, with Big Crandall. We already have Ed Ingram, who's suspect as well. But, I mean, he's staying in the pocket. He's moving around. He's being very aware in the pocket, which is great to see from him. And he was making plays happen. This just wasn't Justin Jefferson. I mean, he had a lot to do with it, but Kirk Cousins had a lot to do with putting the ball where it needed to be.
Yeah, and I felt like he was very accurate today. Look at the last week against the Jets. He sailed a couple questionable throws. Today, it seemed like most of his balls were right where they had to be.
That's gross. That's really gross what you just said. All right, let's go to the last winner, the most obvious, the new single game receiving yards record holder for the Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson. Holy shit. 11 catches, 223 yards, and surprisingly, no touchdowns.
Well, he did have one. He got robbed. They called him out of bounds. He wasn't out of bounds. No way. Justin Jefferson doesn't go to bounds. He should have had about 250 in a score here. Yeah, I mean, this guy's just so damn good. What do you say? I mean, there was that one play where, like, I think there was 3 defenders around him. He got it, then just kind of threaded right through him. That's what he does. I mean, he makes the impossible possible. It's Justin Jefferson, special talent. So glad he's in purple. We said it in the live. Shout out whatever you have to do. Keep this guy here for the next 20 years. I don't care. Justin Jefferson, amazing.
Yeah, makes tough catches. I mean, we could have anybody playing quarterback and they would look good. So Justin Jefferson, A plus. If you can tell me who held the record before him, you got this record. I'll slam the rest of this thing.
It's a single game
record, and he's got it. Who was it?
You know, I mean, Randy Moss is the obvious answer, but I don't think it is. I'm gonna say Randy Moss.
Was it? No, Sammy White. Randy Moss had 204 yards. That was his biggest game. Sammy White, old timer. So Justin Jefferson.
You tricked me when you started to take a sip.
I know. Continuing to put himself in the record books. This will not be the last record he gets. So those are our top 5 winners in a tough loss. But just remember, the Vikings are still 10-3. We are still headed to the playoffs. So don't get too sad. And we got the Colts coming up on Saturday. So put those winners down in the description. Hit that sub button. Hit that like button. That's all I got.
Remember this: a liter of beer is just as hydrating as a liter of water.